Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a fixed Street. My name is Akash, and today we're going to be taking a look at Bitcoin and discuss what's happening with it. Right. So before we get into the details, please make sure to head on over to our YouTube channel and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to stay updated with the hottest trends in the crypto market and the content that we produce almost every single day, make sure to click on this bell icon. You can give us a follow on Twitter at FXSCrypto, and if you enjoy the content that I put out, make sure to give me a follow as well at Mangyako with the zero at the end. You can click this link here, and it'll take you to my YouTube channel where it'll take you to my Telegram channel where I post the trades that I'm taking, right? And it looks like it's a pretty good time to short a lot of altcoins. Although I do have to mention that I am a day trader and I close my positions very quickly. Like once my targets hit, I don't keep them open for a very long time, especially when Bitcoin price is consolidating like this. So let's get into the details of what's happening from a low time frame first, and then let's take a look at what's happening from a medium term and then a long term outlook. Right. So basically, Bitcoin price rallied quite a bit yesterday. So 7th started here. The price rallied a little bit, came back down, retested it, and then it rallied roughly 11% yesterday, and it not only overcame the 4-hour demand zone that was present here, but it also swept the 21.7k resistance level. Now, what this does is pretty important, right? From a larger perspective, from a macro outlook, from a bigger picture, things are now black and white, right? Before this particular move that you saw here, right? It was unsure where Bitcoin was going to go, but now things have been things are pretty clear. So let me just, I think it's better to go from a high time frame perspective first. So let's take a look at this chart. I hope you guys are familiar with this chart because I've been using this chart for quite some time now. I think it was way back here when I first started using this chart in 18th April. That was way before the bear flag breakout even commenced, right? So right, I've discussed in a couple of videos that 200 weekly moving average is pretty significant, not just for Bitcoin, but also for stock markets as well, because the 200 weekly moving average represents the presidential cycles. It also, for some markets, indicates the start of the cycle and the end of the cycle, right? And it has been particularly true for Bitcoin, which so far has followed the 4-year cycle. So the 200 weekly moving average and how it falls, how it kind of gels with all of this is that every cycle, every single Bitcoin bull rally and bear rally was basically bottomed around the 200 weekly moving average. As you can see here, I'm on a weekly time frame, and this is the Bitcoin USD index. Right, the first cycle bottomed after Bitcoin price tagged this in 15th Jan 2015, and there was another dip below it in August 2015, which commenced this bull rally all the way up to 2017, and then we had the 2018 bear market bottom at exactly the retest of 200 weekly moving average, and then the price made a mini rally. There was a COVID crash. Price crashed below the 200 weekly moving average, but recovered quickly, and then embarked on another massive rally to $69,000. Right, but the pretty interesting thing that's happening here is that this is the first cycle Bitcoin price has produced a weekly candlestick close below that. Like there have been candlestick closes, for example, right, in March 2020, the COVID crashed, the Bitcoin weekly candlestick closed. There were 2 weekly candlesticks that closed below the 200 weekly moving average. 2018, there was a perfect retest. And then as you can see here, there were 1, 2, 3, 4 candlestick closes. Wait, hold on. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candlestick closes below that. But the price recovered pretty quickly, 7 candlesticks over here. And so this is technically not the first time, but the degree, right? The price has moved roughly 21% below it, and it looks pretty different to when you compare it to all the cycles, right? So now what's happened is yesterday's rally basically retested this 200 weekly moving average, which was a support for quite some time, but is now a resistance level. So I don't feel like this rally is going to amount to anything unless we break above this particular moving average at roughly $22,563. Now, I want to show you something different right? If you look at this chart here, which is again BTC index on a 4-hour time frame, let me turn on this, and this. Yep. All right. So we have a couple of moving averages, so we don't need the third 8-day moving average. Right. So we have the weekly 200 moving average here that I just showed on a higher time frame. And then we have this one here, which is the H4 200 EMA. No, this is the H4, the 4R 200 SMA. And then we have the green one, which is the 34-day EMA. And then finally, we have the purple line here, or the violet line, whatever you call it, which is the 200 EMA on a 4-hour time frame. Basically, all of these, including the 200 weekly moving average, are basically, if I were to extend this, right, so this is how it looks like. Everything is basically converging at this point here, roughly, which is 22.6K, right? So I believe this is where Bitcoin price is going to bottom. Perhaps there's another minor leg up if the price goes up, actually retest this and then comes back down. But I don't see Bitcoin price going above this anytime soon. And if it does, right, if it does, that's another revelation, which is why I mentioned that things were extremely confusing up to this point here, but now the Bitcoin price is retesting the 200 weekly moving average. Things are now black and white. So if we break above the 200 weekly moving average, there is a good chance the price could continue rallying higher. If the price gets rejected, there's a good chance Bitcoin price is going to come back down to 17.6K, hopefully. So this is basically my take on Bitcoin from a high time frame and a mid time frame outlook. But from a lower time frame outlook, as you can see on 1 hour time frame, the price is currently inside this H1 breaker, which is a bearish breaker. And although I am not comfortable with the candlesticks moving way above the midpoint of this breaker, I will have to allow it. And what I'm expecting right now is a retracement down to the H4 demand zone here, extending from 20.5, roughly 20.6K to 20.22K. So that's what I'm expecting from Bitcoin price, minor downtrend. Although I do want to short this, I'm already in a couple of altcoin shorts, so I'm just going to let this one be. So if you enjoyed this take on Bitcoin, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.